Controlling the size and shape of your roof in Valheim can be difficult, but there are a few tricks that will make this a lot easier. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you my 4 favorite ways to control roof size and roof shape. Let's do it. Number 1. 26 versus 45 degrees. The most standard way to control the size and shape of your roof is by using 26 degrees or 45 degrees regular roof pieces. When it comes to controlling the size, 26 degrees gives you a shorter roof and 45 degrees a taller roof. In fact, these pieces may be the same distance across, but vertically the 45 degree roof piece will make you a roof that is twice as tall as the 26 degree roof piece. So keep this in mind because a roof will get very tall very fast when using only 45 degree pieces. When it comes to controlling the shape of your roof, the best thing you can do for yourself is to use both the 26 and 45 degree roof pieces at the same time. This will add a lot to the overall shape and look of your roof. There are many combinations of the two angles, and the bigger your build gets, the more combinations you can add. Although it can look pretty ridiculous pretty fast if you aren't careful. Number 2. Roof frame length and building width. First, we'll talk about roof frames. I talked in detail about roof frames in the first 2 videos in this tutorial series, but in short, a roof frame is typically a 1 meter frame that sticks out away from your build where you can place your roof pieces. This makes a roof and a build look much more realistic. The standard roof frame is 1 meter, but if you simply increase the size of your roof frame, let's say to 2 meters, then you can see how it also increases the size of the roof. Just like you can adjust the size of the roof frame, you can adjust the width of the entire building to adjust the size of your roof. The wider the building, the taller the roof. Here are some examples of how you can use roof frame length and building width to change the size and shape of your build. Longhouse tutorial build. You can see that I used 26 degree roof pieces for my first and shortest roof. Then for the second section of roof, I wanted to increase the size of the roof, so I switched to 45 degree roof pieces. And then finally, to increase the size of the roof in the middle, I increased the width of the building. For the first 2 sections of roof, I could increase the size by changing from 26 degrees to 45. But for the middle, because there were no more angles to choose from, I had to increase the width of the building to increase the height of the roof. This second example is a weird one, and a great example of what you can do with a roof frame. In this build, I am recreating a building from the Shire in The Lord of the Rings, which gave me a pretty crazy roof. You can see that I had to bring my roof frame a few meters out on the back of the build to make sure that it matched up properly with the roof coming from the front of the build. Because I was recreating a build from a picture, I could not change the front of the roof. But by adjusting the roof frame in the back, I made sure that the roof met up just like in the picture. This is also a great example of the slanted roof feature, which we're going to be talking about in just a minute. Number 3. Adding more shapes to your blueprint. The third method, and my favorite method of controlling the size and shape of your roofs, is by controlling the size and shape of your initial blueprint. The main way to do this is by adding extra shapes into your blueprint. When making a blueprint for a build, I recommend starting with a flat blueprint, and I recommend adding as many shapes as you are comfortable with in this stage. The more shapes you add here before the vertical blueprint, the better, because the vertical blueprint will bring in a whole different set of roof controlling aspects. Not to mention, the more shapes you add to your flat blueprint, the better your build will look, and then of course the better your roof will look. Typically these shapes will be rectangles, but also squares and circles should be considered. The vertical blueprint now allows you to control the height of the walls of each of the shapes that you've added to your flat blueprint. If you choose the same height for shapes that are next to each other, you will have to use the same angle roof pieces to make sure that you can use corner pieces to connect them. If you choose different heights for shapes that are next to each other, then you can put unique roofs on each of them. I usually like to do a mix of both of these so I can have some roofs that connect and some roofs that do their own thing. Number 4. Adding a slanted roof to your build. A slanted roof feature is going to allow you to adjust the size and shape of your roof. It controls the size because it gives you another part of your roof that can either be 45 or 26 degree roof pieces, and it controls the shape by adding another shape to your roof. Not to mention, a slanted roof feature can also connect parts of your build that are at different elevations that you otherwise could not connect. Here are some examples so that you can see what I mean. The Viking Outpost. A great way to use a slanted roof is when part of your build is lower than the rest. This means it needs a slanted roof to connect to the main roof to still allow for a functional interior space. Now it's important to note that sometimes your roof slant will not meet up properly with your main roof. To remedy this, you can simply use some of the methods we've talked about already to make it match up with the main roof. You can see here that I chose to use a 1 meter roof frame for my slanted roof and 26-degree roof pieces until the top, where I changed to 45 so that I could meet up with the main roof. The Viking Tavern. Another great example of a slanted roof is on top of a tower. You could use any roof on this tower, but I chose to include a slanted roof to throw something new into the mix. You can see that I chose to go with a 1 meter frame, which I got rid of for looks once I placed my roof pieces, and I chose to go with 45-degree roof pieces to make a very obvious angle on the top of the tower. Test world example. The final example shows how you can even run 2 slanted roofs into each other for a fun roof in your build. You can see that I chose to use 26-degree roof pieces on both sides, and I chose to run them into a wall in the middle. Now you know how to control size and shape in a roof in Valheim. The next stage is knowing how to add a Viking roof peak to your roof. If you are interested in that, it is the next video in this tutorial series, and you will see a link here once the video is out. If you don't see the link yet, you could subscribe and turn on the bell so that you get notified when the next tutorial comes out. Speaking of, don't forget to leave a like, it helps me out a lot. And also, I have other forms of social media if you're interested, and a PayPal if you want to support the channel. Thank you very much for watching, more coming soon, and as always, have a good one.